If you are looking for a new fragrance that will transport you back in time, back to the 80s and beyond, if you're looking for a fragrance that has a lot of ballsiness about it, strength like a Greek god, hence the name of this fragrance, namely Antaeus by Chanel, but also has a lot of gentle masculinity. Look no further, grab something to eat, something to drink. Stay tuned for my review of Antaeus. This fragrance was created in 1981, so that's almost 40 years old. And the perfumer behind this is Jacques Polge, who is a great talented guy. He is a legend, really. This fragrance is a classy chypre / fougère type of a scent because it has a lot of aromatics and it also has that typical oak moss, dry, earthy base that these fragrances are actually known for. So let's start off with the official notes for this fragrance. And in the top we have lime, lemon, coriander, myrtle, clary sage and bergamot. In the mid we have thyme, basil, rose and jasmine. And in the absolute dry down we should find patchouli, castoreum, labdanum and oak moss. So let me do a quick spray again because I've been wearing this all day. So let me remind myself about that opening. And wow, this opens up really potent, just like you expect from a classic 80s fragrance. It has that typical Chanel vibe to it, really, fresh and zesty in the top. The bergamot and the lime and the lemon really pop out, but you instantly have those aromatics of the clary sage, the basil, and definitely a lot of rose as well. So this fragrance really a real nice opening, very dynamic, lots of things going on, really refreshing elements. That basil, the clary sage, the thyme, really unusual aromatics and fragrances, things that we haven't seen a lot of in the last years. So definitely unique in that regard. This transports me immediately back into the 80s. I'm thinking about fragrances like Antaeus, obviously Egoist, Kouros, stuff like that. High quality scent. So when this fragrance starts to dry down, you get more of those earthy base notes. The labdanum is really prominent, and labdanum is a note that has also an animalic quality to it, but there's also a lot of castoreum in here, which people refer to as urinal. This definitely has a dirty vibe, the castoreum and the labdanum combined. Almost feels smoky, leathery at some point. And there's also a lot of oak moss in the dry down. A really interesting combination of potent ingredients that make this fragrance extremely long lasting and project all over the place. So this is a fragrance you have to use with caution. Only a few sprays will do you fine for an entire day. So I'm thinking about fall and winter with this scent. This is not something that I will reach for in the spring or summer, hence why I'm shooting this outside with my winter jacket. Temperatures have dropped really fast this week in Belgium, and this is a perfect occasion for me to rock this beauty. For me, gender, obviously it leans a little bit masculine, but I can see a daring, little bit ballsy woman rocking this fragrance with ease. This is a fragrance that will make you leave a statement in the room. People will also definitely notice your presence because of the potency. Another thing for me to mention, I want to point out, is that if you are new to fragrances in general, and you're thinking like, wow, this fragrance, it's really powerful, it has a lot of presence, something that I should sample, and you're not really used to all of those classic elements and specific notes. With this fragrance, it's somewhat of an acquired taste, so I recommend you to try this fragrance on a couple of times, because maybe the first time it might throw you off a little bit, but you have to get used to it being so different and unusual from what you might have smelled before. So those aromatics and those animalic base notes really are so potent that I also recommend you to spray this fragrance a little bit more further off your nose itself. Maybe try the back of your neck instead of the sides, and maybe your chest or back itself. Your hand, try to waft it, smell it in the air. That will give you a whole different impression than up close. It might be too strong for you to smell up close. It smells incredible in the air though. So for me, this fragrance is definitely a 10 out of 10, a trip back in the past. Guys, have you smelled Antaeus? How do you like it? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Peace.